Okay, where can we begin? We have two thumbs up, otherwise I'd be like this, thumbs down. But if these thumbs are down, right, my elbows would have to be up. So if I put my elbows down and I turn my arms in, right, this thumb comes very close to my leg. So we can say they're right next to us, right? The thumb is on our ear and we can keep the rest of it right here. See the way it fits perfectly just like that? Okay, just you'll find designs like that one time. So we have two center fingers, we two center toes. That means next to the center finger we have the right and the left. If the right and the left are next to the center finger, right is a letter count of 42 if I remember, and left is a count of 62. If you total them together, it becomes 104. 104 plus 6 man makes it 1010. One piece of the information. The next piece about the information is 42 is right, 62 is left. Cat, the word cat, the transmission of the claws is 24, and dog or god is 26. 26 reversed makes 88, and 24 reversed makes 66. Men, we've got the two heavens. 22, we cannot reverse. 28, we reverse, we get 56. And that is the heart of man. Man 6, 5 and 6, 11. 9, 11. So in all, at the end, I come down and there's two initials. Okay? One of the initials, where does it come from? Wow, I lost it again. One of the initials, can't even say it because I don't even see it here. Anyways, the two initials equal to 36, which means creation. Have you ever looked at the word vowels? First of all, vowels. What does it mean, els? Els. It means she. Okay? It means she. It's L. It's her. Okay? Why? Because it's her vow. VOW is the same sign as the Volkswagen car, except the O is what's surrounding the V and W. Okay? Another thing in vowel, VOW, ELS, 5th letter, 12th letter, 1 and 2 is 3, 19th letter, 1 and 9 is 10, 1 and 0 is 1. The numbers A, C, E. The ace has got to be green. Somehow the ace is green somewhere. It might be us as the green ace, the green lantern, the jacks of all trades. Now what I want to discuss next, we went on with the thumbs. Now I'm trying to think how I'm going to get buried when I die and go under the ground. I die and I get to go under the ground. Cool, eh? I don't even have to dig. So they bury you in a casket 6 feet down, 6 down, 2 up. 6 minus 2 equals 4. That's perfect. Why is it perfect? Because you were 6 man when you lived, plus you got the 4 extra when you die. That gives you 10. 1 and 0 make 1. And you're into another world. Now what about the rest of your pinkies? What happens to your toes? If you ever look at the old coffins, they force your feet closer together so your toes can come closer together. And once your toes come closer together, the arch comes closer together, and you can see the way it's like a rock, the way it supports over your arch. And you need more feet in order to complete that sign. And at the same time, if you look at it, it looks like a pea, like the slice of between your legs. At the same time of this, you have the center finger, and there is one finger to the left of the center, and there's one finger to the right. The thumb goes along with the pointer finger as pointer finger and the thumb and no further, because center finger is not with anybody but the pointer finger, but not with the thumb at the same time. Just like the pinky can go with the ring finger, but the center finger must go with the ring finger. The pinky cannot go with the ring finger unless they're all connected together. It's impossible to do. You can't do it. I mean, here's the thumb to the pinky, right? Look what the thumb can do. Now, try these other fingers to try to touch each other, and the other ones you really get. is the first and the last, the second and the fifth, because these are the first two spirits. Right? Right out, first two spirits. Two hands. Without the owl, it's all in stupidity. It is all in stupidity because we leave it all out. And then we tell our children, oh, it doesn't exist, it doesn't matter, you shouldn't care so much, forget about it. Instead of solving and understanding the situation, we run away from it. I mean, if you want to look at a deck of cards, okay, here's two cards. This one here and this one here is in the same spot. There's one here and there's none here. Because this is of the seventh gate. And it drops it either here or here into one of these two rabbit holes. Man is not in here, but what's in here is this, the four corners of your coffin. 1, 2, 3, 4, the same as 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. The only one is, it brings you into life, and this one is what is in, what is out. It's about the 7 cards. The other thing you have to really look, 8 and 8 is 16. That's the P letter. Even though you have that, you have to also understand you got a mark here and a mark here. You have a mark of 10 on top of your 8 because you're in the second world. Every mark of any sort always has to be in the ingredients. If you're baking a cake, if you're building a car, if you're into metals, if you're welding, if you're walking down the street, you're looking to see if there's someone there, you're watching every foot you do, everything counts. We just don't really notice. We don't pay attention. And then it hurts when we ask how come and we couldn't remember. The other thing about the 8 is this. 1, 3, 3, 1. But when man is born, his heart goes right over here. And that would make the cross of Christ. Okay? And then his worlds would travel this way. That's the way the earth turns, basically. 2 different worlds. You see upside down, right side up, one on this side upside down, but this one supports 5 up and 3 down. So everything counts. 5 up and 3 down. 5 up and 3 down. What must be going on? High 5, 5 up, 3 down means you're out. So what are we actually sending into the grave when we die? We went on to the 104, which is October 4th, which is the 277th day of the year, in which 88 days later, in support of the 2 heavens, is January, December 31st. Don't forget that the day-to-day touch from yesterday and will touch tomorrow. And I've been there all the way in between, all the way, from one to the other end. Another thing I wanted to talk about is when words end. To start with, 20, N. It's N and then TY. So the N means it's the passage world, the second world. Okay? Then there's third T. Third T? No, it's third T. When they say third, they have the D. Or when they say third T, it's now a T because of transformation. Third, and they put an R for angel resident because third is in the 3 world by 3 by 3. It's 27 3s is 81. 3 by that is 343, 3, 4 and 3, 3 by 80, 240 and 3. The pig, the connecting world, it is today. Yay. The other thing I was going to mention, I'm going to go back and look at something. This might not be wrong. Listen, I'm always trying to make these very interesting. I'm looking at the elephant. One of the things that the elephant may represent, okay, is the distance between the floor and his belly and in between his legs is large enough to put a ball. So while the elephant moves, rolling on the ball, okay, one part of the world moves. Then on the underneath part of the ball, there's another elephant, and he's on the other side of the ball, and he's walking, and both worlds are walking in time with these 2 elephants. At the same time, they're running on a bearing, okay, with a key ring switch to close it. All the tools you need to build it are all the words in creation. If I ever get to read the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, or whatever it is, I don't care. I want to read it all, the good, the bad, because you know what? It doesn't matter if it's bad. I can't see properly, but then I could see properly because I see more than I usually could. Got to remember August and Augusta. You got to remember June, the jungle animals, the initials of the months, the seasons, the reason for a ram or an oar, people in a boat, pieces, like I was telling you about the elephant. This would be the elephant up here without a nose or a head, and this is what would be here, the underneath of the ground, and then the buried. He'd be sitting on this, right over here. I don't know how the system works. I'd have to study it, but there's too many things. I put in gas in my car. I put in, how much did I put in? Oh yeah, I put in $17.76. $17.76, purposely. Because the price was $1.35.9, and the liters were 13 liters, 0.67. So right away, 0.67 says the spirit of man. The 135.9 comes from the 9 birth. The 13 is the one spirit of creation, and the 135 is the one spirit of the 3 creation, and the 5 is the past, or the electronic hookup, and that's how much gas I got, and that's the exact price it came out to for $17.76. The numbers must be right. Somebody tell me I'm sick. Somebody tell me I'm sick. Do you want to hear another thing? Okay. I hope I can say it. The word says, number 16, is to seize, and then estate is to seize. Well, wait a minute. No, that's a wait. No, that's an 8 if you take away the W. So was that meat? Did we meet? Or did we take away the M and we ate? But it was eat, ate, because the M is gone from the meat. 9 dice, you have the 9 card. Idea. Have you ever thought of that? If you take away the number 9 from saying 9 dice and put the 9th letter, okay, it would be dice, idea. Dice. Dia actually can mean the day, but I'm talking in 3 different languages right now off the top of my head. If you ever heard of an aiguille, which means a needle, or a fraise, which is a strawberry, and the other thing, what are they doing with the donkeys? With the stew-born donkeys, ST, donkey starts with STU, which means the creation, born, born, means new ace, a new birth. And the numbers for stew, born, are S19 equaling to 1, T20 equaling to 2, U21 equaling to 3, 1, 2, 3, B2 on born, 1, 2, 3, 2. Now we get 2 letters, O and R, that spells gold, which is probably the transmission of our minds. It's like gold. So that's the 6th letter and the 9th letter, and the passage is 5. The last 3 letters of born are 6, 9, 5. 6 and 9, and the pass is 5, and that's how we transmit all our energy and all our minds and everything else. And the total count in the short count, okay, in the first half is 39, 49, 59, it is 60. It means the 4 corners. It means the 4 corners, okay? I know, because F-O-U-R, okay, is the number for 4, and it says 60, which means each corner, okay, because they are the corners, is equal to 15 times 4 is 60. That's why when you get to the 3rd corner, but you're really never at the 4th corner is a calculation from where you're at. Like, you're at home, right? So you're not going to calculate the distance, how to get home. You're going to calculate distance to go, and then you can calculate the distance to come. So you can also calculate that each dot on the 4 dice, it goes to the upper one, and then the side one, 5, 5, and 5. And then if you keep transferring it, 1, 2, 3, you'll end up with 60. Do you want me to show you how it's done? I'll try and show you how it's done. You go from here to here and here to here. 5, 5, 5. This one you count, okay? That makes 15. You do it from here, makes 30. You do it from here, makes 45. You do it from here, makes 60. That's why in tennis, once it hits 40, it's ad. Because in Monopoly, there's only 40 spaces. Oh yeah, there's a whole lot more. But there's 22 in properties, 5, 6, 5, 6, 11, 11. And of course, the two dangerous ones, electric company and hydro, everybody's running after gold, but if they run, everybody is running after the oil, but if they run out of water and electricity, the gold ain't worth so much to them. There was one thing, there's this element, the Chernobyl, whatever element they used in Chernobyl, I had a vision yesterday, nuclear power, that they can use this nuclear power to talk further into space. Okay, so if God wanted us to really have that so we can communicate with somebody else, it would only be a setup by God anyways. I think they want to hide that secret. I think nuclear power can be used for the transmission of connecting with something really, really far away, a lot better than the arm of the Mars machine and anything else. Communication is tops over anything unless you're there on your hands and your knees. That's what I think they're saving this nuclear energy for. That's why I think they're fighting over it all the time. It has nothing to do with weapons at all. Weapons are no good when you own everything and you've captured the sky. So that's a silly little old game from an old man's book from 100 years ago, brought on to the kids of today. Something also with the iron ore. Anyways, we're going to go on to one of the next page. We've heard in computer language LAN, landline, land, bland, equal, just numbers that go together. Another thing I was setting up was a different kind of board. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. You know why? Because 5 is beside 6, 5 is beside 6, but 5 is beside 4. Then you go over to 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. 7 is in between 6 and 8, but it's doubled on 8. The same thing when you come down to here. 8, you go 8, 9, 1. 8 is next to 7 here, next to 9 here, next to 9 here. Because we're in the 2 world. So you have to chop it up. You have to go 1, 1, 1. You have to move it back 2. Exactly the way the horse plays in chess, that's the way we have to play. 2, 1, 2, 1. 2 up, 1 over, 2 up. Chess is a very important thing in this project of mine. It has 64 squares in which only 32 are of one color and 32 of another color with 2 different color of men. The only reason we have 2 different colors is to know which color won. But man actually replaces those colors. Those colors actually represent where it sits in the game of creation. I know I showed you this one already, and I have to look for my last book. There was something I wanted to do on the months, but can't ever forget the bricks, my friend. Never forget the bricks on the wall. The transmission comes in. Do you see the way that comes in? These are hearts. What happens to them? Okay? The energy comes in. Number 3 is in between the hearts. All the energy comes in. Look, 6 and 3 creation, 1 and 4, 41. Everybody knows what 41 is. 41 is the Mediterranean. What do you think they want the Mediterranean? You think they want Israel? They want the Mediterranean because it's linked to the Aztecs and to the pyramids and the pharaohs and everything like that. This thing is real, my friends. The Illuminati and all these cults have been following this for thousands of years and been going into rooms and devoting and killing themselves. Something's real. Good things don't. Things that are not good don't last forever, and sometimes even good things don't last forever. So this one's in between. I think it all has to do with certain placements on the earth to communicate, be able to put up and do whatever they want on this planet because they want to get control of this whole world. For why? Because it's a game. It's a game. And wouldn't you like to, even when you play with your friends, oh my God, I'm going to win, I'm going to win, I'm going to win. It's the same thing. They got too much money for anything else to count. Now the only thing they can say, ha ha ha, look what I did, ha ha ha, look what I was capable of doing. But when the strings of God get cut in this fashion, to where we starve, to where we are put down to a level where the balance of the world is just utterly, completely offline. I mean, the way I see it right now, almost 10% of the people in this world are offline. It doesn't matter what they're going to do, they won't be able to make it. Whatever job they get, it's not enough. They owe, and in the situation they're in, they owe the wrong people, so they're going to get killed. Or not killed. K-I-L-N. It's a heater, it's an oven to kill. Right. Right. So another thing to look at. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. 1 to 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 1. Why am I going like that? Moon. Back information to here to 1, gets the information, goes over here to 1, the information gets to moon to 1, goes up to here to 1, then it goes over here to 1, up to here to 1, and then you got like the letter N or the letter Z. The letter N and the letter Z is what opened the doors, and once you turn the Z around, you're zipping away, and it's not a closed door, it's an open space. The 5 and 8 is the open space of passage. At the same time, it says 58 or 85. No, down in Texas and up in Montana, the speed limit has changed. Thus and therefore, they are in the matrix system, and they do know the numbers. They know the highway numbers and the relations to the system where Roswell went down, where New Dallas is, or Murillo is, or at 25, 27. Certainly, Communication Center up in the highest hills down in Colorado. I'm calling them high hills down in Colorado, but that's okay. It's all communication. Now there's Bell and Astro and Videotron that get in it, and Bell and Astro seem to be slowed down on this, and one of the things they're trying to do is talk on radio and say, come on, help us out, this is what's going to happen, this is what we're going to do, they're going to give more French, more this, more that. Doesn't matter what they do, what they gave, even if they got into regulations, even if they were the best station, okay, they're still going to be manipulative in whatever programming they make. In French they'll manipulate, in English they'll manipulate, in any language they will manipulate. So is this still good? Absolutely not. It's absolutely not. When you've got the underground, and Bell's got the underground, you can't let them have any more. Now the question is, if this was the Matrix, and we were Morpheus, he said he was in the sewers. And in the sewers was where all the information, where all the lines were. That's why they were able to hang out there. So is it a safe place? But if Bell gets the other part of astral video, will they connect to the satellites in the sky? They're already in the sky. But they need more power. They need to change the numbers. What are those numbers? What are all the numbers? We already know what it is. It's all about a takeover. I say like this. I say you take Bell and let them give all the money that Astro wants. Every cent they want, let it all go through. But Bell now can be run, because over, just like in hockey and all these sports, now in order for Bell to make a choice, of any choice, they must bring in people from the street who are going to be watching and using to vote on everything, whether we think it's manipulated or not. If they have over the market share, we have the right to design what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Otherwise, it's too hostile, we're not included, whatever profits they take, they make, wherever they go with it. If we empty out our province, like Rennie Levesque said, if we empty out our province for everything we do, we will be broke at the end. If we are able to be self-sufficient, in which means like this, our first, let's say up to the point of self-sufficient in 70% of everything. Even if salaries, okay, even if our dollar falls to 10 cents, the salaries will be $80 an hour. The smallest bill, okay, will be a 50 spot. Bread will be $8. But we'll be doing all this in here ourselves. Don't you understand? Once you have the seats for everything, you don't have to go anywhere. We have our own North Pole. We have our own Baffin Islands, Nunavut. We have our own salmon. We have electricity and water. We definitely have tons of water and lakes and fish up here. The poultry and the pork price has been down for a long time. We'll just stretch the dollar a little bit more. And, well, if you want to go out, well, when we import things, they're going to be a lot more expensive than what they usually are. But in the long run, the tax money would be like nil and hardly any. It would all be based on X, Y, and Z. We'd all restart. We'd print our own money. I mean, isn't it great? Imagine in the last Monopoly game, you owe $5,000. Close down the board for the way you open up the new Monopoly game, give you $1,500. You got a house to live in. Of course, we've run out with the Canadian money and blended in over time. Once we become self-sufficient, with absolutely no debts. Everything that we would buy elsewhere would only be maybe 20-25% more expensive. And by that time, we'd be doing it ourselves and we wouldn't need it anyways. But we'd always be out there around the world. What do you think? Oh, be my friend. I'll give you something cheaper. But once you give something cheaper away, you've taken something from other people. You can't work, you've got to work chip chop in the businesses. They bring in 901, that new company, 90SO. They bring these companies in, I see what they do, and you have to implement it the same way when it comes to money, it comes to people, it comes to the problems, it comes to the nation, it comes to the Canadian country, it comes to the US and around the world, through Asia, up through Russia, down to the Middle East, maybe into Israel, maybe into Egypt, maybe into Lebanon. Do the people think that the Islamics have a right to do what they did? Let me tell you one thing, I watched a movie, and it's a movie. They did what they did. I don't think anybody has a right to do any of these crazy things, but have they been truthfully, under the eye of God, been suppressed so long that they're turning around and saying this is the last time? They also feel the pressure. And then again, I heard Obama's an Islamic, and people talk for him, people talk against him. You know what? I listen to what people say, and I'm confused. I'm confused because the whole thing is they're still out in having war. And if Obama was that great, the guys wouldn't be there. You know, if somebody wants to just throw something at us, throw something that's clear, that's new, go ahead. It's going to make one blast, and that's it. And then we zoom over there. No, we're protecting. But while we're protecting, the blast that'll end up here, maybe 2,000 people, it's already losing 2,000 people over here. And who says we're going to do anything and we got the eye in the sky? So what's all this bull? What is this bull? What are we protecting? We're not protecting. We're covering up. What are we covering up? We're protecting. What does that actually mean? They're covering themselves up. They're only protecting themselves. That's the way it is. My numbers are right all the time. Most of the time, some of the time. You know, I played pool the other day when I went to hit the 8 ball and I was stripes. I said, I'm hitting the 16 ball because I'm not going back down to the bottom to hit his 8 ball. It's a 16 ball. There's an 8 on each side. Now, isn't there a number on each side of the ball, or is there only one number on the ball? You gotta remind my memory. If there are 2 numbers on the ball or 1, because if the 8 ball had 2 numbers, it would be the 16 ball, the 1 spirit of 6. That would mean that I'd be hitting that ball, I'd be hitting it with the 17th ball, which would be the Q ball, and it is the queen, because the Q is the 17th letter in the alphabet. And I'm the guy holding the stick. So I would be the angel resident, which would be the 18th number. So what would be the 19th number? Well, the 1 spirit of divine birth, in order for me as 6 man to come in and do anything, I need a stick. And I need 2 ends of that, the 1 end of the stick at least, to poke one of the balls forward. And that ends everything at 19, because you can't be 20 on Copper Mountain. Raphael, 7286.